Badajoz is the capital of the province of Badajoz in the autonomous community of Extremadura, Spain. It is situated close to the Portuguese border on the left bank of the river Guadiana. The population in 2011 was 151,565. Conquered by the Moors in the 8th century, Badajoz became a Moorish kingdom, the Taifa of Badajoz. After the Reconquista, the area was disputed between Spain and Portugal for several centuries, with alternating control resulting in several wars, including the Spanish War of Succession, the Peninsular War, the storming of Badajoz, and the Spanish Civil War. Spanish history is largely reflected in the town. Badajoz is the see of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Mérida-Badajoz. Prior to the merger of the Diocese of Mérida and the Diocese of Badajoz, Badajoz was the see of the Diocese of Badajoz from the bishopric's inception in 1255. The city has a degree of eminence, crowned as it is by the ruins of a Moorish castle and overlooking the Guadiana River, which flows between the castle hill and the powerfully armed fort of San Cristobal. The architecture of Badajoz is indicative of its tempestuous history. Even the Badajoz Cathedral, built in 1238, resembles a fortress, with its massive walls. Badajoz is home to the CD Badajoz and AD Cerro de Reyes football clubs and the Abpasense basketball club. It is served by Badajoz railway station and Badajoz airport. History. Ancient times. Archaeological finds unearthed in the Badajoz area have been dated to the Bronze Age. Megalithic tombs are dated as far back as 4000 BC, while many of the steles found are from the late Bronze Age. Other finds include weapons such as axes and swords, everyday items of pottery and utensils, and various items of jewelry such as bracelets. Archaeological excavations have revealed remnants from the Lower Paleolithic period. Artifacts have also been found at the Roman town of Colonia Pacensis in the Badajoz area, although a significant number of larger artifacts were found in Mérida. With the invasion of the Romans, which started in 218 BC during the Second Punic War, Badajoz and Extremadura became part of the administrative district called Hispania Ulterior, which was later divided by Emperor Augustus into Hispania Ulterior Boeotica and Hispania Ulterior Lusitania. Badajoz became part of Lusitania, though the settlement is not mentioned in Roman history. Roman villas such as the La Cocosa Villa have been discovered in the area, while Visigothic constructions have also been found in the vicinity. Founding to Middle Ages. Badajoz attained importance during the reign of Moorish rulers such as the Umayyad Caliphs of Córdoba, and the Almoravids and Almohads of North Africa. For the 8th century, the Umayyad dynasty controlled the region until the early 11th century. The official foundation of Badajoz was laid by the Muladi nobleman Ibn Marwan around 875, after he had been expelled from Mérida. Under Ibn Marwan, the city was the seat of an effective autonomous rebel state which was quenched only in the 10th century. In 1021, it became the capital of a small Muslim kingdom, the Taifa of Badajoz, with some 25,000 inhabitants. Badajoz was known as Badajoz during Muslim rule. The invasion of Badajoz by Christian rulers in 1086 under Alfonso VI of Castile overturned the rule of the Moors. In addition to an invasion by the Almoravids of Morocco in 1067, Badajoz was later invaded by the Almohads in 1147. Badajoz was captured by Alfonso IX of Leon on the 19th of March 1230. Shortly after its conquest, in the time of Alfonso X the Wise of Castile, a bishopric see was established and work was initiated on the Cathedral of San Juan Bautista. In 1336, during the reign of Alfonso XI of Castile, the troops of King Afonso IV of Portugal besieged the city. However, soon afterwards, the Castilian Leonese troops, which included Pedro Ponce de Leon the Elder and Juan Alonso Pérez de Guzmán y Coronel, second Lord of Sanlúcar de Barrameda and son of Alonso Pérez de Guzmán, defeated the troops of Alfonso IV in the Battle of Villanueva de Barcarata. The victory forced the King of Portugal to desert the city and it fell into neglect. In medieval times, the Sanchez de Badajoz family dominated the area as the Lords of Barcarata, near Badajoz, acquiring the property in 1369 when it was granted to Fernán Sánchez de Badajoz by Enrique II. They temporarily lost Barcarata after a tiff with the Portuguese but soon regained control. Fernán Sánchez's grandson of the same name, son of García Sánchez de Badajoz, was both Lord of Barcarata and Mayor of Badajoz in 1434. García Sánchez de Badajoz, probably his son, was a notable writer, and one of his descendants, Diego Sánchez de Badajoz, was also a notable playwright. His Recopilación en Metro was published posthumously in 1554. The first hospital was founded in the town by Bishop Fray Pedro de Silva in 1485. Those affected by the plague epidemic were treated here in 1506. During the 16th century, the city experienced a cultural renaissance thanks to personalities such as the painter Luis de Morales, the composer Juan Vázquez, the humanist Rodrigo Dosma, the poet Joaquín Romero de Cepeda, the playwright Diego Sánchez de Badajoz, the Dominican mystic Fray Luis de Granada and architect Gaspar Mende. In 1524, a board meeting between representatives of Spain and Portugal took place in the Old Town Hall in the city to clarify the status of their territorial arrangements. Attended by Hernando Colón, Joan Vespucio, Sebastián Cabato, Juan Sebastián Elcano, Diego Ribeiro and Esteban Gómez, with reason to assert the rights to the Portuguese crown. Philip II of Spain briefly moved his court to Badajoz in August 1580. Queen Anne of Austria died in the city 2 months later, and on the 5th of December 1580, Philip moved out of the city. From 1580 until 1640, as a result of the absence of war, the city flourished once again. According to the historian Vicente Navarro del Castillo, some 428 residents of Badajoz contributed to the Spanish conquest of the Americas, including Pedro de Alvarado, Luis de Moscoso, Sebastián Garcilaso de la Vega y Vargas and Hernán Sánchez de Badajoz. In 1640 the city was attacked during the Portuguese Restoration War. 1660–1811 The battle for control of the town and its fortress continued with attacks by the Portuguese in 1660. In 1705, during the Spanish War of Succession, Badajoz was controlled by the Allies following the death of the heirless King Charles II. It was taken by Spain, prompting Philip V, grandson of Louis XI of France, to take over the reins of Spain itself. In 1715 Portugal signed a peace agreement with Spain and surrendered its claims to Badajoz in lieu of Spain's cession of Sacramento territory in the La Plata area in South America. The peace treaty of Badajoz was signed between Spain and Portugal on 6 June 1801. The Portuguese, feeling that an attack by French troops stationed in Ciudad Rodrigo was imminent, agreed to cede Olivenza to Spain and declared that it would close its ports to British ships. This agreement was revoked in 1807 as its terms were breached when the Treaty of Fontainebleau was signed between Spain and France on the 27th of October, 1807. During the Peninsular War, Badajoz was unsuccessfully attacked by the French in 1808 and 1809. However, on the 10th of March 1811, the Spanish commander, José Imaz, was bribed into surrendering to a French force under Marshal Soult. A British and Portuguese army, commanded by Marshal Beresford, endeavoured to retake it and on the 16th of May 1811 defeated a relieving force at Albura, but the siege was abandoned the following month. The storming of Badajoz in 1812, Arthur Wellesley, Earl of Wellington, again attempted to take Badajoz, which had a French garrison of about 5,000 men. Siege operations commenced on the 16th of March. By early April, there were 3 practicable breaches in the walls. These were assaulted by 2 British divisions on the 6th of April, reputed to be Wellington's bloodiest siege, with a loss of some 5,000 British soldiers out of 15,000. After a 5-hour onslaught, the storming of the breaches failed. The French also lost some 1,200 of the 5,000 soldiers in the battle. Despite the failure at the breaches, the castle and another section of undamaged wall had been attacked and the town was successfully taken by the British. Wellington wrote to Lord Liverpool, "The capture of Badajoz affords as strong an instance of the gallantry of our troops as has ever been displayed, but I anxiously hope that I shall never again be the instrument of putting them to such a test as that to which they were put last night." However, Wellington's storming of San Sebastian in 1813 was much like that of Badajoz. Pedro Caro, 3rd Marquess of La Romana, died at Badajoz on the 23rd of January 1811 in a fit of apoplexy, seized at the moment when he was leaving his house to concert a plan of military operations with Lord Wellington. In the siege of Badajoz, a detachment of the 45th Regiment of Foot succeeded in getting into the castle first, and the redcoatee of Lt. James Macpherson of the 45th Regiment was hoisted in place of the French flag to indicate the fall of the castle. This feat is commemorated on the 6th of April each year, when red jackets are flown on regimental flagstaffs and at Nottingham Castle. Volume 23 of the Museum of Foreign Literature, Science and Art, published in 1833, described Badajoz as one of the richest and most beautiful towns in the south of Spain, whose inhabitants had witnessed its siege in silent terror for 21 days, and who had been shocked by the frightful massacre. On the 5th of August 1883 there was an attempted revolt by the armed forces when a climate of confusion and chaos prevailed. Spanish Civil War. The Spanish Civil War in Badajoz in the 1930s was a gruesome affair. During the war, Badajoz was taken by the nationalists in the Battle of Badajoz. Infamously, several thousand of the town's inhabitants, both men and women, were taken to the town's bullring after the battle, and after machine guns were set up on the barriers around the ring, an indiscriminate slaughter began. On the 14th of August 1936, hundreds of Republicans were shot at the Plaza de Toros. In the course of the night, another 1,200 were brought in. Overall, it is estimated that over 4,000 people were murdered by the nationalists after the battle. Even those who tried to cross the Portuguese border were captured and sent back to Badajoz. The troops who committed the killings at Badajoz were under the command of General Juan Yaig, who, after the Civil War, was appointed Minister of Aviation by Franco. for the actions of his troops at Badajoz. Yeg was popularly known as the Butcher of Badajoz. Modern history. After the war, the town continued to grow, although since 1960 it has suffered significant migrations to other Spanish regions and other European countries. During the following decades, the predominant economic activity of the city increasingly fell within the tertiary sector, and today Badajoz is a major commercial center in southwestern Spain and an important bridge between Spain and Portugal for trade and cultural relations. On the 6th of November 1997, a heavy flood devastated several neighborhoods of the city, causing the deaths of 21 people and devastating the property of hundreds. The catastrophe was caused by the Atlantic extratropical trough crossing the Iberian Peninsula and inundating the Revilla and Calaman brooks, which are usually dry. The neighborhood of Cerro de Reyes, near the confluence of both streams, received the brunt of the damage caused by the flood. Geography and climate. Badajoz is located in the southwest of the Iberian Peninsula on the bank of the Guadiana River on the border with Portugal. It is the capital city of the province of the same name. It is 61 kilometers from Mérida, 89 kilometers from Cáceres, 217 kilometers from Seville, 227 kilometers east of Lisbon, and 406 kilometers from Madrid. The newer part of the city is on the left bank of the river, with several industrial estates and a university hospital. In geological terms, Badajoz is located in the South Submeseta. It was founded on the banks of the Guadiana River on a Paleozoic limestone hill carved by the river. On this hill is the Alcazaba, one of the main sites of the city. The municipality of Badajoz contains soils derived from tertiary deposits dating to the Paleozoic era. Its average altitude is 184 meters above sea level. The highest points are located in the Cerro del Viento at Fuerte San Cristobal and Cerro de la Muela. The lowest point is the Guadiana River. Climate. The climate of Badajoz has drastic changes between the summer and winter as seen in the chart below. Altitude of the measuring station is 203 meters. The average annual temperature is 17.1 degrees Celsius. The average high temperature in July is 34.8 degrees Celsius, whereas the coldest average low temperatures is 3.3 degrees Celsius in January. Average annual rainfall is 447 millimeters, with December recording the maximum of 69 millimeters, and July is the driest month with rainfall of 0.5 millimeters. Humidity level is at an annual average level of 64%. The city receives an average 2,860 hours of sunshine a year. Demographics. In 1845, the town of Badajoz had a population of 5,628 people. As of 2010, Badajoz has 150,376 inhabitants. According to the 2010 census, Badajoz has 73,074 men and 77,312 women, representing a percentage of 48.59% and a 51.41% respectively. Compared to the statistics for the Extremadura region, Badajoz city has a greater relative presence of women. Although the city is the most populated of Extremadura, it has a relatively low population density, due to the extension of its municipality, one of the largest in Spain, with an area of 1,470 square kilometers. It should be noted that in addition to the metropolitan center, the population includes districts, neighborhoods and towns with small populations, the most populous of which is Guadiana.The, which had 2,524 people as of 2012, but gained independence on the 17th of February 2012. Source: I note, the increase shown in 2001 was reduced because of the independence of the municipalities of Valdelicalzada and Pueblo Nuevo del Guadiana in 1993. Administration: Badajoz was the birthplace of the statesman Manuel de Godoy, the Duke of Alcudia. Many of the provincial administration buildings are located in Badajoz, as well as the government buildings of the municipal administration. Politically, Badajoz belongs to the Spanish Congress electoral district of Badajoz, which is the largest electoral district out of 52 districts in the Spanish Congress of Deputies in terms of geographical area, and includes a significant part of the Extremadura region. The electoral district was first contested in modern times in the 1977 general election. At the time of the 2011 election, Badajoz had 6 deputies representing the district in Congress, 4 from the People's Party United Extremadura Party, and 2 from the Spanish Socialist Workers' Party. Neighborhoods. District's economy. Historically, frequent wars ravaged Badajoz's economy and people were poor. Agricultural land was not fertile, with no industry of any major importance in its territory. However, the historic monuments in the town and also in Mérida were major attractions to visitors, leading to the growth of tourism. And in recent years there has been some industrial development. Badajoz primarily is now a commercial city, ranked 25th place in economic importance in Spain according to Spain's Economic Yearbook for 2007, published by Servicio de Estudios de la Quexa. Because of its location, the city shares a considerable transit trade with Portugal. The service sector is dominant in the city. The main shopping street is Monarjo, where most national and international chains are located. The Centro Comercial Abierto Monarjo is the largest outdoor shopping center in Extremadura, which has had several €100,000 invested into it, and it is visited by thousands of Portuguese a year. Notable industries include manufacturing of linen, woolen and leather goods, hats, pottery, and so. Trade thrives on customers from the province and Portugal. Because of the importance of such trading relations with the neighboring country, in 2006, a new trade fair venue, Institution Ferial de Badajoz, was established in the suburbs near the bank of the Car River, an economic and cultural center. It has a wide range of markets, from fish and various food stalls to health shops. The Old Town area has been affected by this trade fair but is slowly recovering with the opening of new stores. The city's industrial land on the western side of the river is concentrated almost entirely in a large industrial estate, El Navarro, located next to the A5, which is continually expanding, with a diversity of companies operating there. There are also other industrial estates in the suburbs and small businesses in neighborhoods like San Roque. In summer 2007, the project to build the new €38 million headquarters of the Guadiana.The Badajoz was made public, which began to be built in October 2008 and is currently in use. The Guadiana.The Badajoz is a financial center that has a building height of 88 meters with 17 floors, now the tallest building in Extremadura. The city also has an airport, located 14 kilometers from the town center, expanded in 2009, and a conference center.